everybody, welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count. I'm War Machine MJ of the 3 Count Mafia. I'm here today to talk about Raw and Smackdown, most notably the Go Home show to SummerSlam. Or Go Home Week to SummerSlam. Yeah, we kicked off Monday Night Raw from Pittsburgh, awful crowd. Started the show off with Becky Lynch, my future ex-wife, and Charlotte taking on the team of Natalya and Trish Stratus. This was a encounter. Didn't really feel like much of a match, considering they hardly had Trish in there doing anything. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not saying anything against that. Yeah, not everybody was giving it their all. Anyway, and the finish came when Becky hard tagged herself in, just kind of gave Charlotte a big old slap on the back. Charlotte didn't like that. Pushed Becky, proceeded to walk out. Becky did some trash talking, turned around right into a sharpshooter. Even though Becky got to the ropes, Natalya still had that thing locked in for the 5 count. Natalya and Charlotte got disqualified, but that didn't seem to faze Natalya as she drug Becky to the middle of the ring and just kept that thing locked in. Trish Stratus broke it up, and yeah, Natalya just gave her a shove and walk off. Next, we had another classic match between Andrade and Rey Mysterio. Oh shit, actually, let me dial it back. Because, yeah, the notes don't say anything about, the website doesn't say anything about this. We actually kicked off Monday Night Raw with, a nice little visual to the truly awful shootings that happened in El Paso and Dayton. They did a nice little tribute. They cut afterwards. They cut to a weird Raw video package. Kind of like the hype package for Monday Night Raw, which was interrupted by Samoa Joe, stating that everybody's been pointing fingers of blame at him for attempting to kill Roman last week. And even though Roman hadn't said anything, he ain't denying it. So Samoa Joe said he's going to cancel Raw until he gets an apology from Roman Reigns. Yeah. Anyway, after the women's tag team match, we had Andrade and Rey Mysterio tearing it up yet again. The ending came when Mysterio was going to go for the frog splash. He was distracted by Zelina Vega. Then Rey turned and hit the frog splash, but Andrade got his knees up, pulled Rey up off the canvas, and hit the hammerlock DDT for the win. Next, we had more 24/7 shenanigans as Maria Kanellis and her bitch Mike were at the OBGYN office. Yeah, so basically she told Mike, protect me, protect our child, and most importantly, protect the title. So we cut to commercial, come back from commercial. Maria's on the table in the stirrups. Mike gives her a big old hug, which turns out he's covering her because the doctor is the female referee. 1, 2, 3. Mike Kanellis is 2-time 24/7 champion, and instead of running out of that office like a freaking dope, instead of running out of that office like a smart man, the friggin' dope just started dropping to his knees celebrating when he sees a very pregnant R-Truth and Carmella in the lobby. R-Truth then produces a baby doll, throws it, bitch Kanellis catches it, gets rolled up. R-Truth is now 11-time champion, I think. Somebody check my numbers. Next, we had Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman coming out there. Paul Heyman with his usual spiel. Seth Rollins came out there, still battered, beaten, bruised, and just a bit dorky. Man, just a bit. Anyway, And he came out there steel chair in hand, ready to beat down the Beast before their encounter at SummerSlam. However, Brock Lesnar just kicked the hell out of... Kicked the hell... Yes, that's a new one. Kicked the out of him. And then Seth Rollins got on the mic, started making a heartfelt appeal about, he's doing what he loves, and, he hates to see... Well, I forget, whatever. Point is, it didn't really help his case because the people of Pittsburgh were wutting him, and usually when they do heartfelt speeches and the crowd is just content with wutting them every couple of words, I get annoyed by it. Unless it's Stone Cold, but that's kind of warranted considering he started it. But anyway, yeah, here it really didn't hurt anything. I mean, Seth Rollins' credibility was damaged the moment he got on Miz TV and started making fun of Brock Lesnar. Anyway, next we had the Viking Raiders beating up two hapless jobbers, whatever. Next there was a backstage segment where Street Profits have a little fun with Kurt Angle, who is guest referee for the night, when he was confronted by Drew McIntyre. Drew came in peace and basically reminded Kurt to keep things down the middle, to call things down the middle when he referees the match between himself and Cedric Alexander. We get to said match, and the match never gets underway because Cedric Alexander gets ambushed by Drew McIntyre. They proceed to just beat the hell out of each other, and Kurt Angle is just stand there because the match hadn't kicked off. He's just like, what am I supposed to do now? Cue the Fiend. Yeah, the Fiend choked out Kurt Angle with the mandible claw. So yet another vicious attack from the Fiend. Next, we had supposed to be a 2-on-2 match. It was going to be the Raw Tag Team Champions, Anderson and Gallows, which, let's take a look at Gallows for a second. He brought back the face paint. Yes, the face paint that he rocked in his time at NJPW. It's fantastic. It's starting to get that edge back. Anyway, they were taking on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The New Day. Yeah, OC were, Gallows and Anderson were, of course, flanked by AJ Styles. New Day were riding without Kofi. Just when it looks like, as the match, progressed, just when it looked like things were going New Day's way, AJ Styles got involved. And it turned into a 3-on-2 beatdown. And here we go. Example number 3 of why Ricochet's an asshole. See, because last week in the Gauntlet match, he waited for Ray to get his mask ripped off, before he ran out there. Reason number 1. Reason number 2, he didn't offer his vest to cover up Ray's face. And here at number 3, he waited for Big E and Xavier Woods to just be dead weight on the canvas before he came out there mid-safe. Come on, Ricochet, you're supposed to be a hero, man. Can't wait till people get the kicked out of them. Anyway, that led into a 6-man tag team match. The OC and the New Day and Ricochet teaming up to a to no avail, as no, okay, anyway, as OC put away Big E with the or was it, he put away one of the New Day members with the Magic Killer. Next, Joe comes out there and he says Monday Night Raw is shut down until I get my apology from Roman Reigns. and he finds out that Roman's just now getting, so he says, I'm not impatient, let me go greet his ass. Walks out to the parking lot, starts talking all that trash to Roman. Roman's talking trash back. And then Roman says, oh, and hops back in his car as he more or less gets T-boned by somebody else. And before we went to commercial, Joe's just like, should I help him? Should I not? Should I help him? Should I not? During the commercial, Samoa Joe's actually being a caring individual. Because he's checking on Roman. He's telling him, stay down. Stay down. You're hurt. Stay down. Hey, get a medic. Stay down. I did like it because he was yelling for a medic, but he was just like, man, stay down. You know, Samoa Joe's not a bad guy. He even said that. He doesn't go through terrible lengths. You know, he might terrorize people occasionally, but he don't try and kill them. He just tries and beat them up. You know, take their stuff. But next up, we had a 4-team elimination tag team match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, it's been many a moon since we've seen these titles defended. I guess fairly would be the word. Because the Iconics won it at Mania. Yeah, they won it at Mania. And had... had one title defense. And that was against the Kabuki Warriors, which they lost by countout. Again, this goes back to our rhetoric last week, where we said good things about the Women's Tag Team Championships and bad things about the 24/7 belt. Look where they're at now. Women's Championship is right here, while the 24/7 belt is... Yeah, actually, it's more fitting. Because you can't see where my right hand is. Anyway, yeah. Fatal 4-Way Elimination match. We had the Iconics defending against the Kabuki Warriors, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Anyway, yeah, the Iconics were the first ones out, followed by okay, the Iconics were ousted by Rose and Deville, followed by Rose and Deville by the Kabuki Warriors, and then Blissy Baby and Nikki Cross are the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Which, since they're using Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross a lot, which means exposure for those belts, they finally get used correctly. Or at least we hope, fingers crossed. Next up, we closed out the show with Miz TV. It was a big contract signing between Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. Or at least we assumed. Because Miz came out there, of course. Then Shawn Michaels. Then bootleg Shawn Michaels wannabe Dolph Ziggler came out there. And they basically talked a lot of garbage. Well, Miz and Dolph did. Miz told Dolph, just go ahead and sign the contract. Dolph signed it, and Miz just went into this tirade. He's just like, I can't wait to kick your ass next week on Monday Night Raw. And Dolph's just like, yeah, wait, what did you say? Miz is like, oh, you didn't read the fine print. You have a match at SummerSlam, but it's not against me. And Miz looks at Shawn. Shawn steps forward. And I'd be so hyped for that match if they booked it, if they announced it this way. But Shawn looks at Dolph and goes, it ain't me. And then cue up some music, and it's Goldberg, yeah. It's Goldberg, to the shock of nobody. Uh, yeah, Goldberg essentially drives Dolph out of the ring. Goldberg sets the table back up, signs a contract, and tells Dolph, you know, at SummerSlam, you're next. Bang. Now this would have been more surprising if, if Dolph had left the Goldberg hints at in 1 week instead of just spread out across. He just mentioned it offhandedly one time and that's it. And two, this was the big one. So, wrestling 5-star guru Dave Meltzer speculated that this match would happen. And then WWE contacted him asking basically, how'd you know that? Who's your source? Who's the leak? Who is Deep Throat? Yeah, so basically WWE, Meltzer just speculated and WWE just kind of spoiled it themselves. So yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. Now on to SmackDown Live, which was yet another middle of the road show. Because Vince rewrote the whole damn thing hours before showtime. Yeah, we kicked off the show with more Charlotte Flair. It was nice not seeing her every week. And it was especially nice when she wasn't given a microphone to work with. But here we go again. Because she gets on the mic, blah, 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 queen of every era, blah, 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 blah. Roll my video package. So, guys in the truck start rolling a video package. Looks like it's about to be for Charlotte. Nope, it's one about Trish Stratus. And they kept, and in between the video package, they kept cutting back to Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, damn it. Yeah, she had this look of, damn it, very funny. Trish came out there, they jaw jacked some more. Charlotte, basically promoted herself, went for a woo, and then Trish Stratus slapped her. So, went from smack talk to slap talk. So yeah, that match is official at SummerSlam. Yeah. Next, we were going to have Rey Mysterio taking on Dolph Ziggler, who this time mocked Goldberg's entrance, complete with smacking himself with the door. Yeah, because they do the whole Goldberg entrance. He's got an entourage knocking on his door. Door opens, you hear, ow, and then out walks Dolph, making fun of the fact that Goldberg headbutted a door. Anyway, yeah, Dolph Ziggler proceeded to beat up Rey Mysterio before the match even began, rendering him non-effective. Before we cut to commercial, Mustafa Ali came out there, did the picture-in-picture thing, while useless commercial was running. Yeah, Mustafa Ali was on the mic issuing a challenge to Dolph Ziggler. Whatever. Yeah, this was a decent match. Yeah, Ziggler won. No surprise. Next, we had a Roman Reigns interview where basically he said, he's going to find out who is responsible for doing this, and he apologized to Samoa Joe. Said, "I'm sorry you got caught up in all this. And I'm sorry that I didn't, deny your involvement." Essentially. Next, we had a one-on-one match between SummerSlam challengers as Natalya took on Ember Moon. This was yet again an alright match. Yeah, Natalia and Ember Moon both lost by count out because Natalia had the sharpshooter locked in to the full 10 count. Bailey came out there to break it up, and Bailey went from hug to slug in about two seconds. Because Bailey was telling Natalia, it's over, stop it, knock it off. Natalia lets go of the sharpshooter, shoves Bailey into security wall. Bailey gets up, it's just like, better run. So yeah. Then we had quite possibly the final Kevin Owens show, as his guest for this week was Shane McMahon. And yeah, basically Kevin Owens said, listen, man, why don't you put your career on the line? You know, only fair. Shane said, you know, no way. You know, that's an emphatic no. KO then questioned his manhood, and an entire brawl kicked off between the two. There was some Elias interference. Yeah, ultimately ended when Shane O'Mac beat down Kevin Owens, threw him over the table, and then just proceeded to, you know, tip the table over on him. He beat up on Kevin Owens more, set up a steel chair beside Kevin Owens' face, and drop kicked it. Yeah, we're going to see these two put on a decent match at SummerSlam. I'm at least setting the bar to decent. Afterwards, there was a backstage segment between backstage segment between Elias and Chad Gable, where Elias just basically made fun of Chad Gable for being short. Next up, we had Sami Zayn coming out there, and he basically was calling Aleister Black out, basically saying, "Oh, you know, I challenged him to a fight, and you know, he hadn't said anything because you know he doesn't want to ruin his visage, you know, of this like really cool, emotionally brooding dude, you know." And so, cut to Titantron, and Aleister Black is cutting a promo from his coffin, you know, that raises up. Basically said, "Oh, Sammy, I don't want to wait till SummerSlam to get a piece of you. I want to face you right here, right now." Cue up his entrance, and Aleister Black proceeded to kick the fight out of Sami Zayn, which he did. Black Mass 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn is a joke. Pretty much, he just keeps getting beat. Short order, and it's stupid order. There was also a backstage segment, if I can get my words right, or get my enunciations right, with Shelton Benjamin asking if he's going to compete for the 24/7 belt, and he just says, just makes a lot of faces, says, "Well," and then walks off. What are you doing with this man? Seriously. Yeah, we also had a Kofi Kingston video package where he where he reflects on his past program with Randy Orton. Yeah, they're gonna have a decent match. Right now, I'm setting the bar at decent for most of these matches because I don't want to be disappointed. We also had another episode of Firefly Funhouse, which kicked off with Huskus, the pig boy, just eating his problems away. And Bray Wyatt comes up. He's just like, you know, a lot of people do a lot of different things to, you know, to solve their problems. Like Huskus here, you know, he's just eating chocolate and sugar and junk just to, you know, just to make himself feel good. Pulls a brownie out of the pig boy's mouth and chucks it. And he says Finn Balor is brave, but only ignorance, because he doesn't know. And this time Bray's just kind of grasping at his head. He's just like, he doesn't know what the demon, or what the fiend is capable of. And they just start rolling B-roll footage of the fiend, and it ends with, "Let me in." That's how we close out Firefly Funhouse for this week. Next, we had the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and taking on SmackDown Tag Team Champions Big E and Xavier Woods taking on the new Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Now these two proceeded to. No, I didn't click on that. There we go. All right. Then they proceeded to beat each other up, and just when everything was going New Day's way, Rowan picked up a set of steps and smacked it into Xavier, thus causing disqualification. Afterwards, they proceeded to beat down the New Day. Then, while Rowan and Harper are standing in the ring, you see Roman march into the men's locker room. Tells everybody to clear out, except for Buddy Murphy. He starts interrogating the best kept secret not used. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, the best kept secret not used. Anyway, Buddy's like, "Well, I don't know. But if I did know, I wouldn't tell you." And Roman's just like, "Okay, alright. Get one more shot. Tell me what I want to know, or things are going to get ugly." So Buddy's like, "I don't know." So Roman's like, "Okay, you want to play like that?" Proceeds to beat him up, and then chucks him halfway across the room, pins him up against the wall, and says, "Tell me one more time, who did it?" And Buddy spills the beans. He sings like a bird. All those old school squeal analogies. He said, "Rowan did it. Rowan was there." And Roman's just like, "Daniel Bryan and Rowan?" Buddy's like, No, didn't see Bryan, just Rowan." And Roman's like, "I know what I gotta do." Cut back to the ring. Rowan's just like, "Yeah, I did it." Daniel Bryan's just almost like. Yeah, that's how we close out SmackDown. Yeah, that's how we closed out our week before SummerSlam. Like I said, pretty decent Raw, shit crowd. Oops, I'm sorry, I meant to go. Whatever. It's done is done. Another middle of the road SmackDown. Apparently, ratings doesn't matter to Vince at this point. Yeah, apparently all they're worried about is moving to Fox, and that's going to be a fresh coat of paint. Whatever, it's his company. He's going to run into the ground. And then he's going to wonder why everybody's running to AEW or any of these other promotions. But yeah, that's the Raw and SmackDown edition of 3 Count. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Yeah, in case you were wondering, in case you were wanting to hear Rod's opinions or overreactions to all this stuff, he has a podcast where you can where you can listen to his opinions and not have to see his stupid, ugly face. Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime on the CastBox app. Get it, listen. I mean, I have. Yeah, I have. Makes it much more easier to deal with his ugly, stupid face when I got his great opinions to listen to. So yeah, go check that out. We've got paper preview coming up of SummerSlam and of course Takeover. Toronto. I was about to say Takeover Canada, but Takeover Toronto. Followed by NXT UK Takeover Cardiff, and AEW's All Out on August 31st. So yeah, stick tuned to this channel. Of course, we've got the network episode of 3 Count. So that being said, I'm War Machine MJ of the 3 Count Mafia, and we'll see you guys next time.